Lately, I've had a strong addiction to watching manhwa and manga recap videos. Every single day, I find myself binging one after another, losing hours and days doing absolutely nothing productive. And honestly, it's getting out of hand. So, maybe we can make these viral videos too. I mean, look at the views, the growth, the community these creators are building. It looks simple, right? But that's a trap. You go down this endless rabbit hole spending money, losing sleep, hiring editors and writers from Fiverr and Upwork and still feel like you've been robbed. Because don't forget how emotional the YouTube algorithm can be with making videos go viral. It's unpredictable, especially when the market's saturated, competition's relentless, and somehow other creators are dropping 10-hour videos daily while you're stuck trying to finish one. That's when I realized something had to change. So, I built the solution, the Webtoon Narrative Suite, a complete one-click system that handles everything from cropping, script narration, text-to-speech, image processing, and full video generation in one smooth process. Save money, reduce hours of work, and have a tool that only gives you straight results. Click on the link down below and experience it for yourself. And if you want even more tools to supercharge your YouTube recap journey, visit my Ko-Fi and Patreon pages where I drop weekly new tools designed to keep you ahead as AI continues to steal our jobs. So tap in now before you get left behind. When you first open the Webtoon Narrator Suite, the very first step is downloading the panels you want to recap. Just click on the WT downloader. It makes grabbing panels from supported sites super easy. Paste the series URL into the Webtoon URL field, then choose your output folder by clicking Browse. You can create a new folder and name it anything you like, then hit Save. From there, you can even select a specific range, like just the latest chapter, so you don't end up with a giant batch you don't need. The suite also gives you flexible save options. You can organize chapters into separate folders automatically, which is a lifesaver if you're downloading multiple chapters at once. Next, pick your archive. Format: none, PDF, zip, or CBZ. Each has its perks. PDFs are great if you want to crop panels easily. CBZ is perfect for readers, and zip is ideal if you just want compressed storage. Quick tip: if you're grabbing multiple chapters, always double check your output folder. Picking the wrong one means you'll be hunting files later, which nobody wants. Once you're set, hit the download button. The panels will start downloading, and when it's done, take a quick look to make sure everything came through correctly. Simple, clean, and ready for the next step. The Webtoon Narrator Suite comes with two crop tools, one for webtoons, manhwa, and another for manga. Let's start with the Webtoon Cropper. It takes those long vertical strips and automatically slices them into clean, individual panels. Next, let's go over the Webtoon Cropper. First, open it up and click Import to load your files. Select all the Webtoon images and hit Open. Now, click Stitch or press Ctrl-S to merge the vertical panels into one long page. From there, hit Detect Panels or Ctrl-D. This automatically marks the panel boundaries so you can crop them individually. Once detection is done, you'll want to refine the panels manually. To zoom in, hold Ctrl and scroll with your mouse wheel. To adjust a boundary, click it. It'll highlight green, then drag the blue points into place. Need to add a new boundary? Use the Draw tool and drag around the panel. To delete one, just press Delete or Ctrl-D. And if you make a mistake, don't worry, you can always use Undo or Redo to step back. When you're satisfied, click Export or press Ctrl-E. Choose your output folder, hit Select Folder, name the panels to whatever you want, and your individual panels will be saved and ready to go. Always double check your exports to make sure every panel looks the way you want. Now, let's move on to the Manga Cropper. Similar to the Webtoon Cropper, it crops individual panels, but it's specifically designed for manga, perfect for social media or video creation. Start by clicking the Manga Cropper button, then Import Folder or press Ctrl-O. Locate your manga folder, select all the panels, and click Select Folder. Each manga page will load separately, ready for individual cropping. Next, you can adjust the aspect ratio to fit your project. Options include 1:1, 4:3, 3:2, and ready to go. Crop boundary, toggle crop mode or press C, then drag the points around the panel. Once the boundary is set, press Save Crop or S to export that individual panel. All the crop files will be saved in a new folder under the almost the same name, but with cropped in the file name, so every panel you've processed will be easy to find and neatly organized. Repeat for each panel until your chapter is fully cropped. Quick tips: if you're making a manga recap video, choose a free aspect ratio or 16:9 to match video formats. Also, make sure the entire chapter is imported so all panels stay consistent in size. Now that you've downloaded and cropped all your panels, the next step is character creation. This is important for narration because it lets the tool recognize who's who, making the script more accurate, more professional, and saving you from extra tweaks later on. Click the Character Cast button. It's the first button on the top row. Once inside, go to Detect Faces, then click Load Images and Detect Faces. Navigate to the folder where your panels are stored, select them, and hit Open. The software will scan the panels and display all the detected faces. From here, group each character. For example, click on every instance of the main character, say Jin, then give that group a name. Below, you can also set their gender as unknown, male, or female. Once that's done, hit Save, and the software creates a character ID so it recognizes every instance of Jen across your panels. Repeat this process for all other characters until your full cast is defined. When you're finished, click Finish, and all the characters will be loaded into the software, ready for analysis and narration. Quick tip: you can export your cast file. Just click Export Cast File, name it anything you want, and save it. Next time you're working on future chapters, simply click Import Cast File and load that same file. It's a huge time saver. You won't have to redefine every character all over again. Next is the second major step: load chapter and run analysis. Click the second button on the top row. From here, locate all the cropped panels you want to use. Highlight them all, then click Open. If everything is done correctly, the panels will appear on the soak way to be defined. Right side of the screen, fully loaded and ready for narration. Now let's move into the third major step, narration. The first thing you need to do is connect an API, either OpenAI or Gemini, since narration requires it. Once that's set, click the Generate Narration button, which is the third button on the top row. In just a few moments, the suite will automatically generate a complete script for your recap. When it's finished, you'll see the narration displayed in the narration column. If you want to tweak anything, simply hit the Edit button to adjust the text however you like. Once you're happy with the narration, it's time to move on and generate the voices that will bring each scene to life. Before we jump into voices, let me highlight two extra buttons you'll want to know. Export Panels and Export Narration. The Export Panels button is a premium feature. It lets you re-export your panels if you make changes to cropping. Just click Export Panels, choose your folder, and it will save the updated set. Then there's Export Narration. This button exports your narration into a file, which is required if you plan to do any batch text-to-speech generation inside the suite. Simply click Export Narration, give the file a name, and once it's saved, you're ready to move on and generate the voices that will narrate each scene. Now that your narration is ready and exported, it's time to move into the voice generation step. Within the suite, there are two built-in text-to-speech options, Edge-TTS and Kokoro. Placeholder narration when you just want to preview how your recap flows. It's fast, simple, and perfect for rough cuts. But if you're aiming for professional quality voices like the ones you hear in recap videos, you'll want to use Kokoro. Kokoro produces clear, natural, and lifelike voices that make your recap sound polished and professional. Let's start by going over Edge-TTS first. To start with Edge-TTS, click the Edge-TTS button. From there, you can select any pre-installed voice with many languages available. In the parameters section, you can adjust rate, pitch, and volume, and you also have the option to remove silences between lines for a smoother flow. There are two ways to generate voices. First, single generate. Open your exported narration file, copy the line you want, paste it into the input text field, preview it, and once it sounds right, click Save Audio. Choose your folder, name the file, and save. Second, batch generate is perfect for longer scripts. Here, you input the entire narration file at once. Click Select on the input file field to choose your exported narration file. Then, choose an output folder for all generated audio by clicking Browse and selecting the folder. Finally, click Generate Batch Audio, and in just a few moments, Edge-TTS will produce all the audio files ready for your recap. Now, let's talk about Kokoro-TTS. This is where you'll find the natural, lifelike voices most commonly used in professional recap videos. You can pick from a variety of male between MP3 or WAV output formats. Just like Edge-TTS, you can either generate single lines or run a batch. For recap videos, batch generation is the most efficient. For example, I'll select the voice all on Lima. Next, in the input section, load your exported narration file. Then, in the output folder, select where you want the finished audio to be saved. Once that's set, click Generate Batch Audio. In a few moments, all your voice lines will be generated, ready to use. Narration and voices done, you're ready for the final step, bringing everything together into one polished video. The Generate Video button. This is where we merge your images, audio, and animations into a polished recap. First, in the Load Media section, click Image Folder and select the folder with your cropped panels. Then do the same with Audio folder, loading in all the voices you generated earlier. Once everything is in place, move on to Configure Settings. Here you can set your aspect ratio, go with 16:9 for standard videos or 9:6 if you're creating short-form content. You can also change the background to either a solid color or a blur effect for extra style. Next, let's check out the animation section. You'll find a variety of options. Zoom in, zoom out, pan up, pan down, pan left, pan right. You can either let the suite randomized animations across ones you want. Adding movement makes your recap way more dynamic compared to still images. Finally, head down to the Export Video section. Under Export Type, you can choose to generate a single full video file or export individual panel sequences if you want to edit further in an external editor. Then pick your resolution, anything from 480p all the way up to 4K, and set your frame rate to either 30 or 60 FPS. Quick tip, higher resolution and smoother animations give your video a polished, professional feel. It's what makes your recap stand out from the hundreds of static panel videos out there. Once you're satisfied with the settings, click Generate Video, select select where to save it and let the suite do the work. From downloading panels to cropping them to creating your character cast, running analysis and narration, generating voices, and finally putting everything together into one video. So why struggle with complicated editors when you can have the whole process streamlined in one tool? Start your recap journey today by downloading the suite through the Discord or Patreon link below. Happy recapping.